In the case that your vessel, cruise ship, airplane, mining site, whatever it is, has a multi-uplink connectivity, things get really interesting. Let's look at what that means. I'm going to take the example of a cruise ship, but it could be really anything. So you have your boat. Really pretty like this. With cabins, lots of passengers, lots of Wi-Fi. Some point on the boat, you have your satellite uplinks. You could have many LEO dishes so that you can load balance traffic across them. You may have some geo uplink, and you may even have some LTE or 5G uplink to a base station on an oil rig or at shore. These geos come down to eventually a ground station. The LEO would probably come down to a different ground station, and everything eventually ends up on the internet. Now, with 3 or more providers, how do you do personalization? How do you do quality of experience reporting? How do you do traffic management? How do you do regulatory control? Well, there's really 3 ways. First way is all of these would have the same AppLogic Networks box on it. Can be done, but not easy to achieve. The second is you still go this route, but you tunnel the traffic from the ground station to somewhere in the cloud where you can do the personalization. Also can be done, but what is maybe easier is that it happens on ship. So if you imagine all the traffic from the Wi-Fi, maybe the private 5G networks and wired stuff coming in through AppLogic Networks box before it hits the terminals. This would be the logical place to do plan enforcement, personalization, traffic management, but also steering. What I mean by that is the geo has long latency, but may have some good capacity. So ideally you would want to steer the heavy download flows and maybe heavy video flows on this link. The lowest latency is going to be on LTE and 5G when that is available, but that could be pretty limited in capacity. And LEO would have kind of in between pretty good capacity, but medium latency. It's still a satellite. So you want to look at the different apps and categories of apps. And then you want to look at what is the app doing. It may actually be very different. The browsing traffic of Netflix when you're selecting titles compared to actually watching the video. It may be very different if you're on a Zoom call and the Zoom call is video versus just audio versus screen sharing, etc. So how do you do that? Well, inside of the AppLogic Networks box is a software called AppLogic. It's the core of what we do. It helps you classify every packet as an app category, and what we call a content category. And using that classification, you can then have policy that says any video packet should be tagged as video and then directed to, let's say, the geo uplink when available. Every WhatsApp audio call or VoIP call should be tagged as voice, and that, if available, should use the LTE uplink. If not, it should go over LEO. So using AppLogic, the AppLogic Networks box on board can help you achieve personalization, traffic management, QoE improvement, QoE management, steering of traffic, and even load balancing. That's how AppLogic Networks make multi-uplink networks better.